Have you ever heard the tale of the resurrecting phoenix Flare and the immortal kitsune Umbre? It was a tale of battle, of love, of sacrifice throughout eons. This tale revolved around a fiery overlord bent on world domination and his rival, a kitsune goddess. They fought many battles across the world, devastating the land wherever they were destined to meet. The endless battles grew weary throughout the eons. Umbre sought out the council of the vampire Duchess Dima. There, Umbre received a crimson gem and a warning. This gem could seal the power of Flare, but would cost Umbre everything. The gem did seal both Flare and Umbre's powers, but the cost was even greater than Dima imagined. Both Flare and Umbre were forced into a reincarnation. Flare's memories were sealed within the very necklace he wore in his new life with Umbre. In this new life they laughed, grew, and eventually fell in love. But as with any joy a darkness called, through trials and tribulations, Flare's necklace shattered, returning his powers and memories. Flare stood at a crossroads. Should he return to his tyrannical ways, or accept the love he held for Umbre? The choice was simple, and he decided to stand beside Umbre. As with any tale, this is but one of many interpretations. One version of a complex web of different timelines. For what if instead Umbre did not seek counsel with Dima? What if Flare chose tyranny? What if he couldn't resurrect? That is what makes choice all the more interesting, as this new story spins a different tale. What if it went differently? Our alternate story begins at the end of Umbre and Flare's battles. Umbre had journeyed not to a vampire duchess, but instead a primordial soup goddess. This goddess conjured a stone necklace in Umbre's hands, with a warning alluding to a weight far greater than Umbre could imagine.
The power you seek is not without its toll. You, my child, are connected with Flare, as light is to darkness, as yin and yang. To deny one is to cast out the other. In exchange for sealing away his power, you too shall surrender your own. Should you waver, should you doubt, he would shatter the spell and stone.
With this cryptic warning, Umbre set her mind to the goal. She would give everything to end this ceaseless violence. Accompanied by her carbuncle companion Eve, Umbre set out to seek Flare. She knew that their fates were tied, as in every life they would always find each other. Flare would cross her path, but this time, it wouldn't end in failure. It couldn't. It was not long into her journey that she stumbled upon her rival, her nemesis, whilst traveling through a forest. There, standing in the road, Flare glared at Umbre, for he too wanted to end this stalemate once and for all. Flare taunted her. That's funny. If I didn't know better, I'd say you were looking for me. A beautiful smile played on Umbre's face as she replied.
You and I both know that in each life of ours, this battle is inevitable. However, this time, it'll end differently.
Flare's eyes gleamed with a burning inferno. That it will, my dear. With the finesse of a fox, Umbre lunged off of Eve's back toward Flare faster than he could think. However, the phoenix instincts were not to be underestimated. With a great beat of his wings, Flare dodged backwards out of Umbre's clawed hands. As Flare adjusted his stance, he tore his cloak aside, revealing his armor visage. The heat rising around him burned away the cloak, the ash swirling around him. Where blades clashed, the forest erupted with orange infernal flames from Flare and azure celestial might from Umbre. The two were perfectly matched in power. Where Flare charged, Umbre danced. Where Umbre countered, Flare parried. Soon the moment came. Flare overextended a strike, and Umbre saw her opening. She leapt forward, flicking her tail to the side to draw Flare's gaze, while her other hand pulled the stone necklace from her belt. She thrust the stone necklace onto Flare's chest to begin the sealing. The phoenix power quickly drained into the necklace, yet fate, the fickle mistress, plucked a thread. Visions swam through Umbre's mind, possibilities that could have been rivals, lovers, strangers, and so much more. The vision that spoke greatest to her heart, though, was them together going on grand adventures, loving each other, protecting each other, and seeing the beauty of this world. Is that what this could be? Love?
What trickery is this?
For he too saw the truth, the possibilities, and they terrified him. What if their connection was more than just adversaries? What if it could be more? A single tear sizzled as it fell from his eye onto Umbre's cheek. Umbre's heart wavered, causing the grand spell to shatter. In that flicker of weakness, Flare surged forward, unleashing his full might, pouring his rage and hatred through Umbre. Each moment, a tail burned out behind Umbre, each one allowing her to cheat death. And as the final one burned away, Umbre closed her eyes one final time. A final whisper passed through her lips.
I loved what we could have been.
A deep hush settled upon the land. No bird, no animal, not even Eve moved. Her body felt heavier than what Flare had expected. He had slain many through the eons, and none felt as heavy as this. Was it her? Or was this what regret felt like? I finally defeated my nemesis, the immortal goddess who stood in the way of me, and complete control. But what was the point? For every life I've ever had, for all the resurrections I've gone through, each and every time we would always find one another. We would always fight, but I knew deep down that there was some comfort knowing that someone could keep up with me. I guess in some sort of sick yin and yang situation that kept us in this endless cycle, she completed me. But now that the cycle is gone, I feel broken. So what now? An immortal phoenix to go on forever alone? To live on without her feels empty, pointless. I may have broken this endless cycle, but perhaps there's something I could do to change this. After all, this will not be how this story ends. I will pour my soul, my power, into you to use the gift that I was given, the power of resurrection. Umbre's eyes wearily opened to gaze upon Flare's. She smiled softly as she saw no hate, only regret and kindness. She gently reached out to cup his cheek. A soft bead of energy pulsed between them, further chaining their destinies together. But these were not the chains of iron and duty. They were the silken strands of love to bloom in hope. The clouds parted, and a new sun shined down upon the mythical duo. Flare laughed softly. So what now, O Nemesis? Umbre rolled her eyes, correcting him.
I think we're way past that. I think it's time to discover us. I think it's time to begin our new journey.
Umbre stood up and offered her hand to Flare, and as he took it, it would mark the beginning of a long and wonderful journey.
We are the Mythic Duo, born under the Mythic Duo, huh? It's interesting. I've been around for so many stories, each of course unique in their own way, but there's something I don't quite understand. In every story, timeline, variation, this story seems to end the same. The duo finds one another, then ends up together. Not even death seems to be able to separate this truth. So tell me, Flare, Umbre, a mythic duo, what makes you so special? Tell me. I wonder what will happen next in your story. I will be eagerly watching.